I'm Srinivas from Tech Event, and I'm here to explain how to build a basic Angular app. So this is the second video of our total Angular building session. So in this video, I'm going to explain about routing. So before routing, I want you people to create a component. So let us go how to create a let us learn how to create a component here. So after we're done installing Angular, try running our dummy app to check whether our Angular is functioning all right. I hope it's all right for everyone. Any doubts, please feel free to leave a comment. So as Angular is a single page application, we have many components to display. So for this, I'll be creating a basic component here. So how to create a component? So don't worry, I have already given here. So how to generate a component? So here, this is the code for creating a component in Angular. So let me create two components, login and register. So basically, I'm going to create an basic login page and a registration page in order to explain Angular basics. So let us create an login component here. Okay, so this is the predefined code to generate a component, ng generate component login. So just press enter. Yeah, there'll be an component generated automatically here. See, look at here. Yeah, this is the login component. This will be with CSS, HTML, specs, and TS. I explained you what is specs, right? So this is the HTML file and this is a CSS file. Here we have to place all the CSS code in this login.component.css file, HTML code in this HTML file, and a TS file is nothing but a JavaScript file. All the backend JavaScript we need, or not backend, maybe the dynamic rendering backend. Maybe if we bring the code from server and we need to display in front end, so we need to do some kind of for loop. We need to write some kind of for loop or kind of if conditions. All this code can be written in this kind of TS file. So this TS is an abbreviation for TypeScript. So I'll explain TypeScript even. So don't worry. So this is the basic component here. We just created a component. Now I'll create another component that is register. So I'll create a component register, name register. So we can also use ng generate component register, and also we can use nggc register. That's the short form for short form command. Ng, G for generate, C for component, and register is the component name, and press enter. Then we can also generate component. So this is how I generated another component here, register. This will also come with an predefined CSS, HTML, and specs TS file. So we're done. So this is the beauty of Angular. So unnecessary, I have already explained in the first week, all the unnecessary code, grunt work will be moved. See, we just like copy paste one command and we create a component. So in that component, everything is like organized: HTML file, CSS file, TS file. So this kind of structure is which makes Angular more popular. So let's get started with what is routing and all the stuff. Okay, fine. So what is routing? Routing is an kind of navigation. So we need to navigate from one page to another, right? So in order to navigate from, this is the main theme in the page, right? We have the techevent.org/detail here, and we have techevent.org/home. We have techevent.org/blog. All this kind of navigation is done by routing. So this router handles the navigation of pages from one page to another. So for that also we have a predefined file called app.routing.module.ts. In this file we will define all the routes and which page should be opened and if we press slash detail, which page should be open. If we press slash home, which page should be open. All the path will be defined in this app routing module.ts. So the next important thing we should know before routing is that how does a component get displayed in HTML file, right? I hope you all people have got an kind of doubt. How does this components get displayed in index.html file? So let me explain how does this component get displayed in index.html file. For this to be understand, we need to know two important things. Okay, first one, all the components have a tag to represent that particular component, so we will declare that tag wherever we want to display our component. So all the components here, look at this. This component has a selector or a tag that's called app login, and this register has a tag called app register. So this tag is displayed in index.html or app.component.html in order to display our component in index.html file. Index.html file is our main HTML file, right? So in order to display this component, so we will declare this tag there in order to embed this component into index.html file. So and second thing is, Angular will come with a built-in default component called app.component.html. So as it is a component, this will also have a tag, right? This will also have a tag which is included in the index.html file. So this is the component app.component.html, which is the basic one, which is by default only given by Angular. So this is automatically embedded in this index.html file called approot. See, even this app.component.ts has a tag approot. This approot is embedded into index.html file like this inside the body. So now all the components are embedded in this app.component.html, and this is indirectly embedded into index.html file. I hope you got it. So let me explain you practically so that you'll get more clarity here. So let us go to this login.component.ts. Let's take this selector here, app login. So I have taken this app login, and I'm going to embed this app login into app.component.html here. Command V. So as a tag, yeah, I've embedded this. Let's remove this. Hello Angular. Now I'm going to save this. Login works. So what is written in this app.component.html file? This HTML file is individually for a component. Okay, I hope you understand. A component has a separate HTML file to design that component in detail. So this component we have written login works. So now this component is embedded into app.component.html, and this app.component.html is embedded into index.html, thus indirectly embedding all the components into the main index.html file. This is how this works. So let me also embed this register component. So in order to embed this, we need to embed the tag here, app register. So let me confirm this tag here. It's written app register. So I embedded this app register inside this app.component.html. I'm going to save this. So now this register component is also embedded. So now it shows. So these two components are embedded into app.component.html, and those are indirectly embedded into index.html file. This is how the Angular works. So now let me go into this kind of router. So we don't want to show the app login works and register works on the same page. I want to show the login works in /login, and I want to show register works in /register. So for this we need router. So let's go into router module here, which is given in app routing module.ts. So here for this, I have given the code here, this routing module.ts. So just copy paste this code and yeah, just copy paste this code here. Command C and remove this code which is given automatically here. Yeah. So just copy paste this code here. So let me explain what and all of this stuff here. So what is ng module? ng module is the core for Angular. All the basic stuff where we have to run Angular CLI, all the stuff will be in ng module. So this routes, and what are routes? Routes is in here you can see in this routes we're going to declare the path for the component. So and we will export this. We'll export this routes, and this is the login component. We are importing this login component, and we are importing this register component. And here we have defined the paths here in the routes. When there is no path, it will be redirected to login. If the path is login, this is the default path which I have set. I hope you understand this is the default path, and if you press /register, we'll move to register component. So this is how the routing works, and let us see here. And another thing I want to explain here is like now let us see here. I have just given all the paths in routing module.ts. Now it has to work, right? Let us go here. It's not working still. Why is it not working? Because where we have set the paths in router, but we have not declared this routing tag in app.component.html. That's the reason the routing is not applied here. So in order to declare this routing in this app.component.html, we need to declare this routing outlet here. So what is this routing outlet? Routing outlet is a tag. So app login is a tag for login component. The same way router outlet. Router outlet is a tag for router module. So all the components are defined in router component, and this router component is embedded in this app.component.html, and this app.component.html is embedded in index.html. So this is how the router works. I hope you understand. The components are declared and the paths are defined in this router.module.ts, app routing.module.ts, and this app routing.module.ts is embedded in app component.html, and this app component.html is embedded in index.html. So this is how, if we want the routing to get applied, we have to use this. So once I save this, this will start working. Yeah. See, by default it's going to /login. Let me press localhost colon 4200. By default it goes to login works. Now let me press register here. It goes to register works. When I press login works. So this is how the router works, and this is how the navigation works in this Angular application.